All right, all right. We are live. We are live. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but I hope y'all enjoy the content. I'm uploading those Johnny Kane interviews from West Philly, man. I hope everybody's enjoying that. Cause trust me, there's a whole lot to come with that. A whole lot to come with that one. But we're gonna stay on topic. We're gonna stay on topic because Boosie got arrested yesterday. And the funny thing is, him being arrested after all of these, Vlad appearances, man, I was one to be in denial. I'm not going to hold you. I've been in denial about the whole Vlad situation, him possibly working. And I mean, I get it. You know, people like to talk. People like to put their business out in the street. People like to sound decent. Some people think that it's cute to brag about certain things. And like I said, I've been naive. I was, one to say, I can't blame Vlad for that. But I've noticed Vlad's tactics. And I mean, when you really, really look into it and you really go through his channel, first and foremost, something that I noticed, I would say from anywhere around 2010, 2011, up until about 2017, Vlad has actually had a real stronghold on, up and coming influencers, entertainers, rappers. He's had a major chokehold on, breaking them in the game. Because when I look at some of his old content, I noticed that he was getting a lot of people before they really blew up. And I got to give him credit for that. And when you see like the history, because let me see, I hope y'all can see the screen. Vlad got 5.2 million subs. I'm trying to see the number of videos he got. He got 27,000 videos, right? 27,000. And to think that he got stories, like documented, like testimony on his channel of, people from the past, some from the present. I think more back then, like I said, from 2010 to like 2017, he was grabbing them fresh off the, green as baby shit. Now he kind of switched up his swag a little bit. Like you got to have like a name with yourself, like not just a buzz, because he was catching cats when they had a buzz back then. But now you got to have a name. You got to actually have some sort of like, I wouldn't say a brand, but you just got to have that a certain amount of momentum to be able to come on his platform. But if you look at his past work, he was catching a lot of these dudes when they was coming up, a lot of them, and when you go through it, says you're like, wow, a lot of cats got just snatched up right after, not like right after, but sometime after being on his platform. And like I said, you really can't deny these things anymore. You want to, because there's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. You just can't like pinpoint something like, I know for sure. But you could scratch your head a little bit. You could raise your eye like, I don't know about this one, man. You just don't know. So, yeah, it's not Vlad's fault that Boosie got caught with a strap. It's not. It's not. More than anything, you could say, yeah, you should know by now that, certain people is watching. Not just you, but they watching everything. They see everything now. You know, everybody got surveillance around their home, in their home, their businesses. You know, like somebody's watching. Somebody's watching, but it's something about his platform. Give you an example. So, Prize from the Fugees, right? How many of us knew that Prize was like under investigation? How many of us knew that? You know what I'm saying? It looks like Vlad interviewed him 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And here we are in, oh, look, somebody's already talking about this. Because it's funny because when you look at that Vlad interview, and trust me, I'm not going to play none of his videos because from what I hear, he liked the flag stuff. But there was an exchange during that interview where Vlad comes out and he like gives him the information that he already know about him. And Prize sit back, he like, yo, how you know about that? It went over my head back then, but all this time later, I'm thinking like, whoa. Anybody that ever dealt with the feds on that level would know, like, yeah, that's a Fed move. And I'm going to tell you why it's a Fed move. See, the feds, when they come get you, they already know everything. They know everything. They don't just, oh, let's wing it. Let's bring them in and hope he slip up and tell us something. They don't work like that. They don't work like that with them. They usually sit you down. They get you comfortable. And they'll say, yeah, tell us what happened on this day when you went there and did that. And then when you got finished doing that, you went over there and then you laid low for a little bit. They really break it down to you. And, they want you to, it's kind of like a psychological thing where despite what anybody want to say, niggas think they could talk themselves out of jail. You really can't. That's why your lawyer tell you every day, keep your mouth shut. If there's an issue, anything comes up, call your lawyer. They'll tell you that because they don't want you talking. They don't want you talking. So one of the feds moves is they'll get you nice and comfortable and they'll lay it out. They'll tell you like, yo, we know this, that, and the third. So it's no need to bullshit with us. We're here to help. So when I saw Vlad do that, I said, wow. And even Price, he like, yo, how'd you know that? You got to look for little things like that. And here you have all these years later. It turns out that around the time he was doing that Vlad interview, he was caught up in some other shit. Borderline treason, borderline espionage. Brad Pitt had to testify against him. Jason Lee, I'm going to see if I could pull that video up. Because apparently Jason Lee has an interesting theory about Jamie Foxx. He claims that Jamie Foxx was doing all of this so he didn't have to testify. Testifying what? What are you talking about? But let's see. I see they got the video right there. I want to see if we could get like a little clip of it because I don't like playing people's stuff all the time, man. Like, people, they really get the flagging you out here because you're breaking down these stuff. Even though I'm gonna use it under the guidelines of fair use. Let's see. All right, let's try this one right here. I'd rather hear it from the source's mouth, man. We can't even do it right there. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I got this. I'm on this Chromebook. You know, they don't allow the kids looking at certain things. We're gonna try this again. Hold on. All right, we back up. All right, let's try this one right here.
Are you a
Hold
low
on.
income American?
Let's get these ads skipped. Let's see what we get. I don't even want to hear all this. All right, so let's start it from back here.
Something. Jason Lee has a lot of connection, and I am believing that what Jason Lee is saying can potentially be factual, if not very much half true. Now, I'm gonna tell you why. Do you remember the story of Kim Kardashian's sugar daddy, Jolo? There's a court trial going on that involves Jolo, Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, Jamie Foxx is to, testify, in this trial. And what Jason Lee is saying that, all of these stories about Jamie Foxx being ill, is just an attempt for Jamie Foxx to get out of this trial. Now, Jason Lee has a lot of connections.
All right, I think that's the logistics of it. And I'm sorry for saying Brad Pitt. I meant to say Leonardo DiCaprio, but it all connects. It all kind of connects, with Priswell and all of that. And according to, this Hollywood insider, Jason Lee, Jamie Foxx is pulling off this whole stunt about being ill just so he can't testify, allegedly. Now, that's interesting because, that case had to be big. I mean, you bringing in these big celebrities, and Priswell actually was found guilty of that. Apparently this guy was Kim Kardashian's sugar daddy. I remember hearing a story about her coming back. Well, she was spending some time with him somewhere and came back with a bag full of money, like $250,000. So yeah, it's money involved. It's money involved, And you look at a lot of these when these cases, because they keep them on the low, this should be headline news right here, you would think, but you'll get a little bit of snippets here and there. You get a little bit of snippets here and there, but you really don't get like the whole story being covered from every single angle like you would get, you know what I'm saying, if this was, a situation where you had one of these celebrities that was strung out on drugs or something. Nah, But nevertheless, right? The whole Vlad thing, and again, this is another example of how things is connected. I mean, Vlad has interviewed a who's who of rappers and entertainers that's now or in the past, faced with a lot of legal troubles, and it's like, I want to say that, it's just a stroke of luck. Because if you notice, every time somebody is in the headlines, every time somebody's in the headlines, Vlad got a rewind video for it, a flashback. Like, oh, such and such got shot. And Vlad can just post up a flashback of an interview that he did with him years ago. From the beginning. You want to get to know who's this guy? Yeah, right here. It's like he's in competition with the before they was famous dude. But you getting it on Vlad from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's next level shit. So I can't hate on it. I can't hate on it. But yeah, let's take a look. Who's been in trouble? I know you got the what's that? Yeah, this dude right here. He's in the news right now. Has he ever had a Vlad interview? Don't look like it. Then we got Boosie. You know, Boosie got hundreds of videos with Vlad, just hundreds. But it don't look like this guy YNW Melly. It don't look like he got any work with Vlad. But like I said earlier in the video, early in the game, Vlad was getting cats like that. He's rather new. He's kind of new here. He came around, what, 2018, 2000? I don't know. 2019, whatever. But if you was in them early 2010s, like Fetty Wap, Young Thug and all them, yeah, you had to go through Vlad. You at least had to see him for something. Let's see. Young Thug ever been on there? I'm pretty sure Young Thug has did something with Vlad. He's not that young in the game. He is not that young. You see all these people that's following that Young Thug stuff in there. And so you know what? This is another thing that I've noticed about YouTube. And I'm really not up here to like dog YouTube or nothing, but I barely watch content on YouTube like that. Again, I do business with them, so I'm not trying to down them. But their algorithm, I mean, when I usually search YouTube, I always filter it out. And, you know, I got to go to like, you know, the last week of my, you know what I'm saying? Because that relevant search, man, they only going to show you what they want you to see. You know, when I'm on TikTok, man, like they'll just put it in your face. Like they really don't have no pics, even though I heard you can get like, you know, filtered out over there a little bit, shadow banned a little bit. But for the most part, they're fair over there. They're really fair. You know, and that's what kind of makes the YouTube thing feel like more of a program. Like, have anybody ever looked at the algorithm and said, yo, why are they showing me this? You know, like I said, I see what a strong algorithm can do. Over there, they show me kind of, like I could relate to, like, whoa, that's interesting. Not because it's fresh, it's just something that would catch my eye on a regular basis. But again, you know, Vlad in these cases, man, I mean, the list goes on and on, man. The list goes on and on and on. And you can't deny it anymore. You got to say, like, yo, who's the dude? The dude that's, you know, from New York. He was beefing with Tekashi for a minute. You know, I'm surprised. I haven't seen Tekashi on Vlad yet. I don't know if that's ever going to happen due to the fact that Vlad interviewed his baby mother. But when a lot of those Treyway dudes come out, I wonder how many of them is going to actually migrate over to Vlad. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be real interesting. Like, and I'm gonna tell you, Vlad's not the only one. Vlad is not the only one, y'all. I mean, if we was to really like break down the history of academics, and the thing, academics, see, he didn't really get close and have these people in their face, but man, you talk about drama, arrests, violence, even murders, the things that came out of that Warren Chirac channel. And, you know, I look at some of these community strikes that YouTube might send me sometimes, and I'll be like, really? Like, bro. I mean, a cat might watch my content and raise an eyebrow. He might think like, yeah, because that's what I try to do. I try to get people to think sometimes. Like, have you ever thought about that? But man, there's some channels out here. You be like, yo. I mean, one of the biggest things YouTube would try to get you for is like, cyberbullying, hate speech, things like that, inciting violence. Like, bro, is that all that he could report on in Chicago? But see, that gives people like Vlad an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Because he could always say, look, that's going on over here. That's going on over there. That's going on over there. And honestly, it's like a lifeline. But at the end of the day, it's a cycle. Things start up at the top and roll downhill. I mean, it was one point, right, where YouTube was all fresh faces. I mean, you were looked at as like a Z-list celebrity if you was just popping on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But somehow, people they was made aware of the checks, that the money that was being made on YouTube, and they was like, hold on. Yeah, we need to get some people over there. You know what I'm saying? And then you giving them the power of invincibility. Like you could be real stealth, like you could be like a stealth bomber on YouTube, any social media platform, for real. And when you really get the masterminds and the people that really know shit, not believe but know things, yeah, they'll run buck wild on stuff. Like they've already done it. We know they already do it, but they could really run buck wild behind these keyboards. I'm talking about misinforming people, manipulating people, just doing all kinds of stuff. Why you think most of the scams that go on in the world today happen online? I don't think anybody's falling for the call center or the telemarketing scheme. No, that's that's kind of dried out, But when it comes to this internet, yeah, people get busy. They getting busy. And now you got cats. You think they being honest. You think like, it's nothing wrong with what's going on here. But you're like, I don't know. And listen, Vlad always somehow get certain things out of people. And like I said, it feels like he's trained to do something like that. Now, don't get me wrong. He be slipping too sometimes. He definitely be slipping. Like that whole Tupac, and did this dude really think he solved the Tupac murders, y'all? Like this, and he walks around here with his chest out. I mean, chest all the way poked out. Like, yeah, I solved the Tupac murder. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, dude. Stop it. If you want us to believe Greg Caden, nah. Trust me, there's a lot of us out here that ain't that programmed, dude. There's no way I'm going to sit up here and listen to Greg Caden. I mean, Keefe D, like, it's almost like somebody gave him a full-time job of just going on there and making his people look ignorant as fuck, bro. Like, it's crazy. I mean, it's that sick. He that sick with it, But nah. He ain't solved that Tupac. He not solving that. He hasn't solved that at all. But if you let him tell it, if you let Vlad tell it, he know that Orlando did this and such and such did that. And you like, bruh, come on, homie. Nah. You're not gonna, I'm not gonna sit there and allow you to insult my intelligence and tell me that that Greg Caden version of Tupac and Biggie is official. Nah, that's not gonna work over here. I mean, trust me, I get it. I get it. Uh on the surface, it looked like Tupac. He just got killed over some street nigga shit. But my dude, I think Chris Rock said it best. He got killed on the strip, nigga. How much of a testimony do we need to come out? Of people saying, yo, I mean, they was like following us. They were kind of like deer when it went down. But we know the street. See, us street dudes, we know what's up. See, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Like that's like the number one rule. Not really the number one rule, but that's rules of engagement out here. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. And if you really follow my channel, we've already shown y'all how even seeing things can be deceiving in today's world. In today's world of technology. They showed some shit in Dubai the other day. They got floating dolphins and shit. The Project Bluebeam thing. You're like, what? I'm supposed to take any of this stuff serious at this point. I seen a video earlier today, Kendrick Lamar on stage, and poof, this disappears. It wasn't even no smoke. The lights wasn't even all the way dim. Like, man, was that a trick camera or something? Like, what the hell? It's no cameras. But, dude, I'm telling you, man, like, the stuff that's going on, it really makes it hard to keep up with. It really do. I'm trying to stay ahead of the game. I'm trying to, like, figure out the next moves. But yo, I truly believe that a few years I don't even think it's going to take like decades or nothing like that. I really think in a few years from now, you're going to see people really question, a lot of these influencers, a lot of these big name people, because you see the circles being formed. YouTube used to be the anti-Hollywood, but they're really starting to move like how Hollywood moved back in the day. With the circles forming and, either you win or you're out. You're a part of it or you're not. And they get it's like a tour. We seen Kanye West. We seen him go on a tour. Every place that he went to was geared to like Republican voters. Like he went on Alex Jones, then he went on Tim Cass, something like that. Like, and you see him, I'm like, who's his target audience? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, he bounced from this guy to that guy to that guy. Yeah, it's like, you got to connect those dots. We see academics, Vlad. They all. I think Vlad was out way before. He was out way before academics. But when academics came around, like he was one of these. You didn't really see his face. You know what I'm saying? You just heard his voice. Then some pictures leaked about him, and he slowly opened up. But even before he was opening up, cats kind of knew, and like he was, he'll get a name drop here. It's like they mastered the art of introducing you to the world. You know what I'm saying? And now, I mean, this new Boosie case right here. This one gotta hit close to home. It got to. It got to, man. We've been seeing we really been seeing the plays unfold. I heard a live stream earlier where the dude actually played back one of his live streams. He's like, man, I predicted this. I'm like, man, they really watching Boosie. A chick on Facebook. They showed a video, chick on Facebook, June 4th. June 4th. She was like, yo, one of these rappers is being watched. They're about to move in on him. You like, huh? Yeah. And they planned this video on June 15th. You see, it was posted on June 4th. And I mean, Shorty was like, yo, look. And you would think, like, Boozy, he got enough legit things popping. I don't think he's in the game or the streets like that. And for the most, he's from the South. He's from the South. And like, it's a lot of people down there. You know what I'm saying? Their laws are a little different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what part of the South, but I know he's from the South. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he's a celebrity. Why wouldn't he want to protect himself? But from what I understand, it was at an airport. Like, huh? Hey, how? You know how it goes down there. Like I says, some laws are different, but that'd be the last place you think something like that'd turn up on your like, huh? You? How you not know that? But they let you get away with it for the most part, and now all of a sudden today they want to arrest you. That's what you got to start thinking about. That's what you got to start thinking about. You guys say, like, why would somebody be that silly to do something like that with so much to lose? But you never know when they when they start pressing those buttons. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think Joel Santana got caught up the same way. He in the airport got the ratchet in his luggage. Like, what? That was the best hiding spot you could think of? Like, bro. But it's either you being set up or they had to have let you get away with it before. And today, all of a sudden, they want to be the police. It's just things that you just don't do. But man, I tell you right now, man, it's people really going to have to tighten up. And I really believe that in our culture, especially our culture, we really going to have to stop opening up and allowing people to just, mango amongst us as if, they bring something to the table. Because I know Doggy Diamond's been doing it for a long time. Doggy Diamond's been doing it for a long time, man. And his library is not as it's strong, but it's not as strong as Vlad's, man. It's almost like the execs, or it was like somebody out there recruiting these people. Because I remember in the early 2010, like, and during that time period, he was bringing. I never even heard of these people, and I got to think back then. I was really, getting busy. I was out there. I'm like, wow, like who's this guy? Not even a year later, they blow like, whoa, they blew up. And if you really look at it, it was phases. It was real phases with Vlad. He was heavy in the battle rap for a minute. Remember that? Remember he heavy in battle rap, real heavy. Math Hoffa, Disaster, Serious Jones. Serious Jones goes to jail. Vlad really not into the battle rap thing anymore. He's looking at these other rappers. He's looking at the rappers that signed. They about to get signed, Rico Reckless, all these that's during the whole Chirac era. Like, okay. He's running with the wave. Okay, I get it. Every Italian mobster that had a name or service, even those that didn't have a name, but they was affiliated with the mob, and they all ratted. They was all snitching. All of I haven't seen him bring one former mobster on his channel that stood tall. Mainly because for the most part, they in jail. But yeah, for the most part, every single, well, not all of them, but for the most part, they all was like, yeah, I could. And then it's no shame in their game. They're like, yeah, I told like, man, like, I ain't want to end up like John Gotti. I don't even think the life. I denounce it. It's like, wow. Who's connecting him? How did he? How did he do that? But yeah, he had that phase. He had that phase going on. And then when he really, really, really started to like, yo, it's good promotion over there. He got the comedians, he got the old school rappers. He had the video vixens. Remember that? He even went through a phase where he was going through the porn industry. You know what I'm saying? In every single phase, every single aspect, you see an investigation, an arrest, a scandal. It's like, whoa, like it's like he just opens up that can of worms in that space. And we could sit here and naively say, like, well, this is just all a coincidence. Nah, dude. You gotta think of the levels where some of these people are. Some of these people, they had these I wouldn't say elite levels, but some of them at a level like higher than middle class. Like, why would you even be involved in certain things like that? But then, you start to learn about all the stuff that goes on with you. Like, oh no, that was light. That was light. Could have went, but you didn't. But again, like, I'm not really here to sit up here and try to shit on his platform. Either. I'm really not. Um, and I don't want to have people speculating or like really attack. That's not what I'm here to do. But I do think it's something that if you're a young and up and coming like artist, entertainer, even if you from the past, it's, you got to think twice about that. Like, is it something, because that whole part of him knowing alleged facts about your story before you even like told it, or it's no way. It's like, how you even research? I do my research. People say like little shit like that. You be like, how can you research? What was your research? How did you find that out specifically? We don't ask those questions. People take I did my research as the end all be all of things. Well, what is your research? What do your research consist of? I mean, when somebody hits you with that, you need to ask them, well, what's your research? Is it Google? I doubt if it's just Google, because they whole thing works like YouTube. They show you the relevant things. Some things you got to filter out and actually find it. And even that can be censored. Y'all know how YouTube got that little box? Certain topics that you'll find on YouTube, they'll have like a little fact check box in it. Takes you like to sites like Wikipedia and say, yeah, this is the truth right here. So even with the whole I did my research thing, that you can't take that as facts. You really can't. People like to hold things to a higher standard than what it is. It could be there just to manipulate you. It really could. It could be part of the program. Getting sleepy, getting dizzy. All right, it's working. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to think about these things. And we don't ask these questions. It's our fault, for real, for real. It's our fault because, they tell you that, in order for them to avoid their karma, they have to tell you things. They might tell you in the form of entertainment. They might tell you the truth in a joke. You know what I'm saying? But they have to tell you in order to avoid their karma. You know what I'm saying? Certain things you just got to decode and say, like, did he tell him? Or didn't he tell him? When I hear that, people just tell their story. People that part of it is like where you really gotta like stick your hand out and say, hold on, homie, because he doesn't do live content. He doesn't do live content. And as a content creator, you could edit out certain things. I said, I just did like a 30-minute interview with Johnny Kane from prison. From prison. There's things in the interview y'all never going to see. I've interviewed people in the past. Things that you're never going to see because, you could always edit things out. There has to have been, certain statements made, certain things that was said on his platform that I'm like, why he edit that out? But then again, you got to say, do he have to, do he have to do that? Is he holding his platform to a certain standard or integrity? No, he's just here to entertain. He's just here to, give the people, what they want. And you're there to tell all of your business. You're there to tell us what you want us to know. It's not his job to, filter the thing out because he might get an extra 100,000 views if he lets what you said be known. So at the end of the day, it's your fault. You in compliance with it. So once you're in compliance with it, they can't say, yeah. Like me, there's certain things that I would, say or do online that, I try to be careful nowadays. I don't try to be reckless. We have this false sense of, freedom of speech. Do you really? You can get canceled. Shit, you can get charged. You just can't come on here and just say anything you want. You can't just come on here and just do anything you want neither. There's some sort of, control around here. But I think when it comes down to it, it's the art of self-control. The art of self-control that's going to protect you. Some people you go on a platform like DJ Vlad, you got to have enough self-control not to say certain things and not to do certain things. And to be honest, I don't know what Boosie could have possibly said on a DJ Vlad. I haven't watched all of Boosie's interviews on DJ Vlad to say, oh, it's Vlad's fault. But then again, you don't know what he's saying off camera. You don't know. You don't know what them conversations is like. And it wasn't like Boosie was arrested by locals or he was arrested by, airport. No, he was arrested by the feds. So if the feds is coming to search you and find a guy, why is the feds looking into you like that? Like that's the saying. You got to ask those questions when you know all of the dynamics of it. Anybody could get pulled over and they got something in the trunk, they got something under the seat, they got something. You bought that. I mean, even when the fact, Boosie bought that, but at the end, you got to think, you got to ask yourself, why was the feds following him in the first place? What is he under investigation for? But I mean, listen, not all of us is going to like really get to, know the truth. You know what I'm saying? The famous line, you can't handle, some of us really can't handle the truth. Some people want to see no evil, hear no evil. I get it. Trust me, I was at a lot of peace mentally when I didn't figure certain things out. But I know now. So again, you got to keep, like I said, when I first came on here, I thought I could say, dude, I got freedom of speech. Like, what? Land, air, and water. Law is different ones for all three. That's what law means, land, air, and water. Different laws on the water, different laws on the land. Maritime, you know what I'm saying? But you got to learn it first for you to be trying to take advantage of it. Or for you to think that it's somehow protecting you. Like, I heard one dude, right? They had this like little child support. They had this little child support hearing. And he went, the dad went in there, he started talking that what's that sovereign citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, they get to watching the wrong TikTok and YouTube videos, and all of a sudden they think they got law degrees. My man said, "You're violating my constitutional rights. I'm a sovereign citizen." The judge looked in the camera and said, "Sir, how are you anything? You are free and no." You know what I'm saying? They get to talking all that fly shit. Like, oh, you got no jurisdiction over me. You got none of that. And then he turned around and said, you can't work under the Constitution if you got all that. You know what I'm saying? People at this point, you're just confused. You think you know. You think you got these rights. You think you got that rights, but you don't. Sorry. You don't. For real, you part of the program. You part of the program. Hopefully, one day we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn, and I think it's gonna be better for the world. I think it's gonna be better for society and civilization once we get a clear understanding of what we can and can't do, and who the fuck with and who not the fuck with. Because again, some of y'all are really complying. Some of y'all are in compliance with the fuckery. Some of y'all are in compliance with all of these violations. But you really too busy, you know what I'm saying, with a bunch of other stuff on your mind. It is what it is, man. I'm going to get on off of here, y'all, man. It's getting late. We've been on here for about close to an hour, man. Like, I try to keep these things short because I know people's attention spans. It is what it is. But I appreciate everybody that's came through. I appreciate everybody that's been checking out the content. I know y'all like that motorcycle club content. They just seem to go up. But I definitely got a lot in the chamber, man. Make sure you like the live, share the live. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, man. I'm gonna get on out of here. I hope everybody have a blessed day. It's almost the end of the week, you know. We're gonna see what happens, man. I don't know if I want to say free Boosie, but hold your head, bro. Hold your head, man. I'm out of here.